Hello, all aspirants and dear viewers. In this video, we are going to discuss about Johan Locke, another Western political philosopher who is to be known as father of liberalism, and he has significant contribution in the Enlightenment movement and is to be considered as important figure among Enlightenment thinkers. John Locke was also a physician as well as political philosopher. He had huge contribution to the concept of classical republicanism, which was already existing, but in his era he contributed a lot in that concept and gave different new other dimensions regarding classical republicanism. His date of birth is August 29, 1632, and date of death is October 28, 1704. And in this way, his approximate age is about 72 years, and the place of birth as well as the place of death is England. So basically he belonged to England, was to be known as British philosopher, but if we look towards his work, his writings, his thoughts, we have to know a lot about enlightenment and about the movements which were running at his time and era. So if we talk about his key thoughts, he mostly worked on social contract theory. The aspirants of competitive exams who are studying political science or international relations know well about this social contract theory, and even every student and every citizen should know about this social contract theory. That is a theory which expresses the contract, the inherited and unwritten contract between state and citizen. And John Locke is considered one of the social contractual philosophers. Thomas Hobbes and Rousseau are the other two, but he is to be considered as one of them. Then if we look deeply the work, the thoughts, the key thoughts by John Locke, we come to know that he worked a lot for natural laws, were laws given by nature in general, which were never to be ignored and which will never to be ignored. If we talk about liberalism, this school of thought, which is even presently existing broadly and everywhere, so he is to be considered as father of liberalism, and he gave those thoughts of liberty, of freedom, which is the need and the requirement and the basic fundamental human right of everyone. So he worked a lot on this liberalism. That's why he is to be considered as the father of liberalism, or this school of thought. If we talk about his key writings, he wrote an essay concerning human understanding, as well as some thoughts concerning education. So overall, he worked for general human laws, natural laws, for freedom, for the connectivity of the citizens and the state, for the responsibilities of the state, and for the duties and rights of a citizen. There are some sayings by John Locke, as he said, reading furnishes the mind only with materials of knowledge. When someone studies something, the knowledge, the material of knowledge gives him a lot, but he said that it is thinking that makes we read ours, which we studied, which we got by knowledge, the material of knowledge, that becomes our or someone's only due to his or her thinking. So in this quotation, he put more significance on thinking, on thoughts, and then knowledge may become useful or permanent, or may get the permanent position in someone's mind. Secondly, he said, being all equal and independent, no one ought to harm another in his life, health, liberty, or possession. This quotation simply clarifies his thought of liberalism, his thought of freedom, and his work for liberalism. He also said, to love truth for truth's sake is the principal part of human perfection in this world. So this is another important, significant principle which is given by him for the humans, and this is the natural right of liberty, health, possession, as well as there is another moral value which was given by him, that the truth. So he said, love to truth for truth's sake is the principal part of human perfection in this world. So by these quotations we got a lot about John Locke, about his key thoughts. We tried to cover in this video about his key work, about his short biography, and an bird's eye view, an overall view, and his input towards the liberalism, towards the natural laws for the humans. Thank you so much for listening.